Good morning, class. I'm sure those of you who chose to write poetry for your end of the unit creative projects are up bright and early this Saturday morning checking our class blog for the video I promised. Now this is just intended to remind you of some of the tools you have at your disposal as you begin creating your poems. Your Poet's Toolbox will assist you in using imagery and metaphor to create meaning. Now there's nothing here that's new that we haven't covered in class, so let's jump right in and get started. First, let's open up our toolbox and take a look at some of the items you have at your disposal. First, we have our alliteration screwdriver, our sensory details sandpaper, our metaphor and simile stud finder, our happy personification hammer, and our repetition wrench. First, we'll discuss repetition. The repetition of a sound, syllable, word, phrase, line, or stanza is a basic unifying device in poetry. The repetition of word endings, for example, which we call rhyming, generally helps to bind lines together into larger units or to set up relationships between certain words. The repetition of the words "I never" in Brian Turner's poem Night in Blue help to combine and add emphasis to the content of these three lines. Alliteration is a kind of repetition in which the beginning consonant sounds in two or more neighboring words are repeated. The repeated F sounds at the beginning of each word emphasize the rhythm and meaning of the statement. A metaphor is a kind of comparison in which one thing is referred to as something else and is ascribed the qualities of that other thing. A simile is a kind of metaphor that uses like or as in the comparison. Recall from class that being teethed on a silver spoon and having stars for a rattle is not a literal meaning, but a metaphor that suggests certain people are born into wealth and an easy life. Similes are also metaphors, but they always use like or as instead of directly comparing the two words or concepts. Personification is when you ascribe human features, qualities, or attributes to non-human entities like objects or animals. In this poem, the author ascribes qualities of human beings, like desire and the ability to speak, to an inanimate object, in this case, a bullet. Sensory details include information gathered through the five senses: touch, sight, smell, taste, and sound. Adding sensory details helps the reader to gain a better understanding of the meaning, mood, and tone of your writing, and helps the reader to better visualize and imagine what you are describing. Now what you need to do is get yourself into some comfortable poetry writing clothing, find a nice, comfortable, quiet place in which to write, and start composing those poems. Keep in mind everything I've gone over in the video and everything we've gone over in class, and remember that these aren't the only tools you have at your disposal, but they'll sure help get the ball rolling. Keep in mind also that you can email me with any concerns or post your questions directly to the class blog.
Happy writing, and I'll see you all on Monday.